This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Well, hello, welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Berryfield, and I'm joined here by my good buddy from Bruin Report Online. It's none other than freaking Mike Regalado.
What is
Big
up?
applause, Big Mike.
What's up, Jake?
Not much, man. Good to see you. Nothing's happening over here. A lot of boring stuff, but we'll get right to it. Or on the What's Bruin Show. We have number one on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. It's at What's Bruin Show. Email is what'sbruinshow@gmail.com. what'sbruin.substack.com, patreon.com/what'sbruinshow, or what'sbruinshow.com. Once again, on YouTube, you just search up What's Bruin Show and just look for the UCLA stuff. There's a My Locker site for merch, and the hotline, 805-399-4WBS, Second Reign of Troy. And we also have some calls, at least one call. We're going to get to the bottom of why Carrie was freaking out in their wonderful drop that we got a couple shows ago. I finally want to get to the bottom of that, which I'm happy I added it to the outro drops. I liked it so much. So if you want to hear that, just listen to the end of the show. But yeah, as well as that, we have a lot of headlining stuff to do right now because we're in the middle of the weirdest spring football ever.
Very bizarre.
And we also had some stuff, with women's basketball. Someone going to the other side of town, which is concerning.
Very bizarre.
We had a player who went Big Blue. Not Big Bruin Blue, Big Michigan Blue, and he had some thoughts about things, and it's just been weird. So, Mike, I hope you're well, and let's just hope your computer holds up for the next hour.
No, it's fine. Well. I was telling Jake how it's kind of being weird.
Start slow.
So I'm like, are you okay, buddy? We're good. Okay, he's good today. So yeah.
Good. And I want to get this handled so I can watch the Lakers hopefully win a game. And if they don't, then I'm going to be depressed for a while. But that's okay. But with that being said, let's get to the headlines so we can talk about some of that stuff. With Iron Mike.
Iron Mike.
Mike Regalado.
What's up?
So, Mikey, first let's lead with what you like to talk about, women's basketball.
Yes.
Freaking London Jones. She became a Trojan? What the hell?
Wow, that was... I mean, I can see it.
Answer for her crimes.
I don't want to because, she was a beloved Bruin, and I speculated that she is moving on simply because she was probably told this is all speculation, all my opinion, but she might not have her same starting spot, especially with Charlize Leisure-Walker joining the team. So she probably saw the writing on the wall and was like, I've been a starter for 2 years. I want to
You think I was likely
shot
too?
at something.
She would get knocked out of the starting lineup?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess now that explains it.
Yeah. I think that's a huge part of it. Even though 4 other freshmen took off and there going to be plenty of minutes. Just with what Leisure Walker brings, IQ, she makes everybody better on the court. She's just very dynamic. And I think the backcourt of her, Jaquez, and Kiki Rice is going to do wonders.
Well, that is a bummer about London, though.
What a shame.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I'm very mad at So it's that one hurt, Jake. That one hurt because you know why, Jake? Bridges at UCLA. That's what I'm saying.
It's
so
a shame.
Anyway.
That's a tough one. She did have a very cool name.
Yeah, but it's now if I could turn this thing off because
okay.
we don't want Apple to blow our spot.
That's right.
It's just it's been quiet. Other than that, I mean, there was another. We knew this last week because I broke the news, or the week before, about Janiah Barker entering the transfer portal. Well, now she has found a home as well, although she is not.
Hold on.
What's brewing? Breaking news on a weekly basis.
News just in.
She's not going across town nor across conference, but she is going across country to the SEC as she has found a spot with Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
And word on the street
a lot of Tennessee going on.
I know, right? A lot of UCLA back and forth Tennessee pipeline.
Man.
So, Jake, do you think her and Joey Aguilar are gonna have
Definitely, they're definitely at worst like
No.
they're in a relationship.
no,
And they both went there
No.
just by circumstance. Yeah.
no, I was happy. Yeah, but we'll get
Quadruplets, I
we'll
hear.
get into that in a minute. But as of now, yeah, because I believe the transfer portal closes on Wednesday, April 26th, which is probably when you'll be hearing this. So hopefully we hear some news about players that are coming into the program, because there was news that superstar Utah transfer Gianna Neepkins was visiting UCLA, but haven't heard anything on that front, or not much else as of now. I mean, like rumblings behind the scenes, but players are taking their official and unofficial visits, but I'm hoping that on Wednesday we hear something, because UCLA definitely needs to bring in, I would think, 3 or 4 more players. Right now they have their starting 5 with Dugalich confirmed that she is returning. That's also breaking news that came out last week. It was funny. She put out a tweet that said, "I didn't think I knew how to. I didn't think I had to do this, but here I am. I have 1 year of eligibility remaining, and I'm going to stay in Westwood." So, yeah, and that's probably why Barker bounced, because if Dugalich was going to move on, that was going to be Barker's spot.
I hate to disagree, Mike, but I heard that it was love at first sight when Aguilar got to campus.
Oh dear God.
Barker and him just whatever, and they now their new name in Tennessee, they have it on T-shirts already. They're printing them up. Bargular, it's coming after you.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I know.
It's horrible.
Yeah, these are all. If you didn't listen last week, we were making fun of something in a similar vein. So.
So as of now, UCLA has, I believe, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players, and yeah, it'd be good of them to bring in 3 or 4 more, because you have Bilic and the younger bets coming in. You have Gardner and Muse, who will be bench players, and then you have the core 5. So
you definitely want to play as many you definitely want to carry as many players as you can.
Yeah, definitely.
That they're allowed to. You don't want to go into a game, 7 girls.
Yeah, you need depth, especially
against the Big Ten.
Yeah, especially the way we saw UCLA play this year. They definitely needed their depth at times.
You think a Final Four team could get a full roster on board? You would think.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see.
But
anywho,
as we've seen in college football, stranger things have happened.
Exactly. So that's what's going on with the transfer portal.
Okay, so Mike, briefly, tell me your thoughts on the back and forth with the Ademara thingy that happened this week with
Ademara.
Yeah, Gee, I do that again. I like that.
What? So now they're going to go off to
sorry to Bona. My apologies. No, the story, like he leaves and then he talks to friend of the show Ben Bolch, and his reaction as to why he left. Do you have any thoughts on that at all?
I read the article and I kind of expected what was said by Mara. People even posted when all that information first came out that he posted on his Instagram just a black screen and it says "tired of the lies" or something like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, interesting.
He's a PMS listener. Tired of Lies Tuesday.
I thought the same thing. On Tuesday. I thought the same thing. Yeah, I mean, not much to take out of it. Someone's obviously not telling the truth. But it is what it is. Michigan has, in my opinion, a very studly guy who just has a lot of upside. And whether he can play, several minutes a game, he has to figure that out. Now, he was sick a lot of this season, so you can't really put that on him mid-season. But, hey, get yourself healthy, get your body right, strengthen up, and go kick ass with the Wolverines, I guess. So,
yeah, except for when you play the Bruins. Play like 3 minutes against the Bruins.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen. He's probably going to play like 30 and drop like 30.
Yeah,
and
probably.
Like 20 rebounds.
Yeah, probably.
And be very angry.
Yeah, very much so.
Whatever. Maybe Cronin's got a good strategy against him. We'll see. Okay, and then the last, do you have any other headlines, Mikey?
No.
Hi, bro.
As of now, there probably are little things that slip through the cracks, but if I find it, I'll say it. But yeah, I think we have a big talk.
Let's just cover the other Bargular story here, and that is that Joey Aguilar is also going to Tennessee, which is super crazy how it turns out. A couple weeks ago, this is going to be presumably our starting quarterback, and then all of a sudden they get Iamaleava out of the transfer portal from Tennessee.
Yeah,
and then that kind of leaves Aguilar kind of sitting there, thinking about the crickets really. So, I didn't have it on. Anyways, no more crickets. There's our crickets. He's like, what about me, guys? And it's totally understandable.
Mhm.
And I wish him well.
Yeah.
And, I don't think there's really anything. It's kind of a no-brainer for UCLA to do what they did, I think. I mean, certainly there are possible downsides to this, but everybody understands why they took the quarterback that they took. And so if you'd already kind of signed up Aguilar, like no hard feelings going east, and good luck. Like he's probably signing up for a bigger paycheck than he was going to get from UCLA. We don't know that yet, but he's also signing up for a lot more craziness and a lot more, weird fan pressure. But he's also signing up for the SEC and all the, the fun that goes with competing in that conference. So, and the stakes and all that stuff. So it's definitely weird that, these guys are going to be compared all season long. Like, beyond that, I don't know, but all season long, there's going to be people watching how both of them do.
Yeah, Tennessee fans are going to have a high interest in UCLA football, and UCLA fans are going to have a high interest in Tennessee football.
It's going to be bonkers.
And I'm going to have a high interest in Tennessee women's basketball.
That's right. Mike.
And Michigan men's basketball.
Yes. That's okay. But it's a weird story. Would you
USC not so much because they're not going to be. I'm just saying.
Did you have any thoughts on Aguilar before?
No, I mean he looked stiff the very first time I saw him 2 weeks ago. He looked really good. Like he was like hitting receivers. Him and what was it, Davis, I believe? Luke Duncan looked way better than they did 2 weeks ago.
That's good.
Just throwing balls like right in tight spots, throwing balls like right over defenders' heads. Wasn't perfect, but it was a lot better. But hey, we'll never know. With Duncan, yeah, he'll definitely be a backup, or he might be a backup, considering the fact of the other rumors. Did you hear this one?
I think it's already is it done? It's not done.
Not done. Just sources and all that. That Madden Iamaleava, who spurned UCLA on signing day, this past signing day, the early signing day. I think it was the early signing day. Anyway, to at the last minute go to Arkansas. And there he was only a third string quarterback and told the coaches on Monday, I believe it was, that he was planning on putting his name on the transfer portal. Lo and behold, a few hours later, sources are saying he's coming to UCLA with his older brother.
Here we go.
There is a very Ball family aspect about this.
Ballsy aspect to this, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see actually how much it is and what kind of fruit it pays, if anything. Or if it's just a giant disaster train wreck. But either way, it's something to talk about. That's kind of exciting.
But it was funny because when asked this morning, and it's basically what we said last week, when asked this morning, Deshaun Foster, he could finally talk about it because he was officially committed and signed to UCLA, got his NIL package deal and all that. That's why nothing has been official with Madden. But with Nico,
ee-ah-MAH-LAY-ah-va.
Deshaun Foster said that you got to take risks. If an opportunity like this falls in your lap, you have to go for it. And that is a I've been watching a lot of Wall Street movies, and that's a very Wall Street baller way to go. So I don't know why they just all showed up on Hulu. So I watched The Wolf of Wall Street, Wall Street itself. And
what was your favorite?
They're both good in their own right. It's weird, just different.
Totally different eras of movies.
Yeah. What is it, Oliver Stone versus Scorsese? 80s Wall Street versus, well, I guess he was in the 80s, right? Late 80s. But I guess what the Wolf of Wall Street would have been a period piece, if you will, in a way.
Yeah.
So it was in that time, but it was, with a modern perspective. But yeah, just kind of just the craziness. And,
you guys throw American Psycho in there, and you got kind of like a.
That's what I was going to say. But I did see American Psycho a few weeks ago. That is actually one of my favorite.
Christian Bale.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, first time I saw that, just like Fight Club, fell in love with it instantly. I love those crazy bastards. Just nuts. So bizarre.
All right. Anyways,
great soundtrack.
Absolutely. But this all came from you saying that Deshaun Foster's treating the program like Wall Street, I think is what we said.
What did we say? How did we get on this topic?
I think that's what it was. Anywho, why don't we close the Brofield headlines with that? And just get on to the actual talking about what we're talking about.
Blue 32, Blue 32, California, California, hood, hey! Football.
So the Bruins have landed a big fish, apparently, and it's going to be, a guy from Tennessee, 5-star transfer, Iamaleava. Let's see if I got that right.
Iamaleava.
Yeah, straight from the YouTube video about a famous athlete is what the lady said before she said the name. So
Iamaleava.
let's work on that all off season. We'll be ready to go for when the football games start. But he's a 5-star guy. Played at Tennessee. He played in the bowl game his first year there as a freshman, and then led the Tennessee Volunteers, as an inexperienced quarterback to a playoff appearance last year. And there was some wackiness over what may or may not have transpired before that playoff game where he played Ohio State. But this is a guy who played in a freaking playoff. If you didn't know a lot about his high school career, he begins at Long Beach Poly as a freshman, transfers to Warren High School for a couple years, transfers back to Long Beach Poly, and then ends up becoming the Polynesian High School Football Player of the Year, MVP honors in the Polynesian Bowl. He ends up going to Tennessee after getting offers from all sorts of schools like Alabama, Georgia, and Oregon. He's a number 2 recruit in that class, and he was the number 1 recruit in the transfer portal this year per Mike's agency, 24/7 Sports. And now he is a Bruin. Over this controversy over the money and stuff, he supposedly was trying to get more money from Tennessee in light of how NIL had been skyrocketing. But now he comes to the Bruins and he's getting less than what he's getting at Tennessee, I'm sure, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
We're pretty sure about that, right? We don't know what the number is yet, do we?
No, it hasn't been announced, but
it's safe to assume.
From what I'm reading, I probably somewhere between 1.5 and 2 million. I would say probably closer to 1.5.
Yeah, and I think that sounds about right to me. And it's
and the funniest thing is someone on social media said if he's getting, let's say he's getting $1 million after taxes in California, they broke it down, and he was going to only get 600,000.
So we talked about this last week. And we talked about is this a good move or a bad move? Number one, I think that you talk about what Deshaun Foster said about it, taking big swings in the Wall Street and all that stuff. But this is absolutely a no-brainer for UCLA football at this point, given where the program was before it happens. This instantly puts them back in the conversation, of college football, which is good for them because they needed that. Because this program was DOA after last year's disaster with Eric Frito Bieniemy. I mean, there's no way to get around it. I thought that Deshaun Foster squandered an opportunity to have a really fun, good team last year and make an impression in the Big Ten because of that just absolutely fatal hire of Bieniemy. And coming into this year, there was no buzz at all. And there was really, I think we all would have been thrilled to say that, the Bruins, they're going to make a bowl game this year. And that would have been, and we all have been thrilled with that. And that would have been probably overachieving based on what the national expectations were going to be for this team, right?
Yeah.
And at the very least, you bring in a guy who was a 5-star recruit, played in a playoff game at a steep discount with nothing, who should have nothing but motivation, ball family vibes notwithstanding, to play really well in this next season. Okay. And so that being said, this absolutely raises the ceiling of UCLA football for 2025. Does it lower the floor? Because could it fail even more spectacularly and you might have done better with Joey Aguilar as your steady hand at quarterback? Maybe, even though we heard that he wasn't quite a steady hand, he was kind of erratic too. But I'm like, it's a no-brainer for me. Mike, this is after having qualms about it this week. The more I've thought about it, it's a no-brainer at this point, given the circumstances.
Yeah.
Mike, how do you feel about it at this point?
Well, really quickly, let me tell you what Vegas feels about this, because prior to getting Iamaleava, UCLA's odds of winning the Big Ten were plus 50,000. Now,
50,000?
Yeah, plus 50,000. Now
seems low.
It's plus 18,000.
Wow.
Still low, 12th out of 18. But considering where UCLA was with everything new, I mean, no returning quarterback, no returning running back, patchwork, although deep, and apparently the offensive line is getting, pretty damn good, and a good defensive mind. But are the players there? It was really rickety, and I could imagine that a lot of people would have UCLA finish maybe 15th, 16th, 17th, but 12th. I mean, that's better. I mean, that at least gives you a little bit of a chance. And considering what we saw from a struggling offense that could do some things later in the season.
No,
Last season?
it was always a struggle.
No, but in some of the games, they looked a little bit better towards the end, and then they kind of
Yeah, the players looked a little better in this horrible offense. They were
Oh, yeah, no, exactly.
succeeding despite
But now you have
terribleness.
an easier offense.
Anything
with
about the
a-
offense from last year. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mike, but that's the funny thing I keep chuckling at is like people are like, oh, he's going from
Oh, that's what I have to
Tennessee
tell people too. Yeah.
over to UCLA. Look, they had the worst offense in the country last year. It's like, yeah, that's fine. And look, they might have a shitty offense again this year. I doubt it. Because, but it's completely different no matter what it is. And they made a huge change. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mike.
Yeah, I was just going to say what you said is exactly true, and that's what I reminded a few people on Friday. Actually, I got to talk to last week I talked to SiriusXM College Football Today, as well as Bob Baskerville of Rocky Top Insider of Fox Sports Knoxville, which is kind of cool. Hit us up and wanted to chat about it.
Cool.
He wanted to get the UCLA perspective, and I told both of them, getting Nico is exciting, but for UCLA fans, it's more exciting because we're not going to have Bieniemy. We're going to have this more Indiana influenced type of offense that Tino Sunseri is bringing, and it's not going to be as complicated. And UCLA still has quite a few talented receivers. I think that's the best position group for UCLA on offense. Nico brings up the quarterbacks a little bit, but I think him having those talented receivers to throw to,
It's a good match.
I think it's going to be a really good match. And if the O-line can really help out the run game, I think that's going to be a really good combination that nobody is going to see. It's going to be coming out of left field, and nobody's going to expect that.
Well, I think, look.
Yeah, that was the point. Like, nobody understands that the offense is going to be different too.
I don't think it can help but be much better, even without Nico coming in. But now that they have him, I mean, I just think it's going to be a much better product out there. And my biggest concern about the team right now are defensively. How are they going to be after losing so much talent? But we're hearing a few positive things about what they have over spring practice. We'll get to that in a little bit. But, Mike, there are some downsides to this as well, obviously. And the first part of it is just it sounds like there's a lot of baggage possibly with just the whole apparatus that is the Iamaleava family and what that is. And like you said, now they have Madden coming as well. He'll probably be a redshirt guy, almost certainly. And then, Nico will be presumably the starting quarterback. And
hopefully the next 2 years, that would be ideal.
And I don't care. I don't want to hear anything about 2026 until we get through 2025 because, that's what college football is right now. Until they get some structure in place to rein all this in, if that's what they want to do, if that's what's going to happen, you really can't be concerned about 2 years down the line anymore, unless you are Alabama or Georgia or one of these ginormous programs. And even then, you might get caught, unawares. It's all about what's happening in 2025 for Deshaun Foster and this UCLA football team. And if Nico can come in and he is ready to be part of a team, and he's and they can develop under this offense, then they can be a pretty darn good team, I think.
Yeah, and
but if it's just a bunch of if it goes from being
ee-ah-MAH-LAY-ah-va.
to this,
ee-ah-MAH-LAY-ah-va.
yeah.
if that's the Iamaleava we're getting, then that could be
Jake and his awesome editing skills. Yes,
that could be trouble. But we'll have to see.
Yeah. Well, as Baskerville said, this could be a rehabilitation for Nico, because obviously you even if you're not a Tennessee fan, not a good look. And just really quick sidebar, even Bob said, and a lot of people have said that Nico is actually a really good kid. He's just kind of being led. The handlers and his father are the ones that are kind of being weird behind the scenes and trying to get more. And
yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, just kind of like LeVar.
And that's a maybe right now, because what wasn't happening when LeVar Ball and the Balls were in Westwood?
NIL.
All of this.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Look, I totally understand it, and it rubs me the wrong way too. I don't like seeing players that bounce from place to place to place, and Nico before college was bouncing from place to place to place, right? 2 high schools, and 3 different stints at high schools, right? So yeah, it seems like if you're going to talk about athletes that are fickle and moving place to place to get the best situation for themselves instead of holding tight and trying to develop where they're at, certainly Nico seems to fall into the former part of that as opposed to the latter part of that.
Yeah.
And so that's totally a giant warning sign, right? And
no doubt, that's what you have to be aware of.
Yeah, and my thinking is that, well, he took a swing and he kind of missed a little bit and decided to come back towards home, and UCLA, a place that should be a friendly confine for him to develop. And it's not like UCLA hasn't had any quarterback success even in this, recently. The lack of team success that UCLA has is dramatic, but they have had some pretty darn good quarterbacks come through, and they have sent some quarterbacks to the pros, even if they don't become the best pros. But Brett Hundley, Josh Rosen, and DTR were all very good college quarterbacks at their peaks. DTR took a little while to develop. Josh Rosen was good from the get-go, and then, was kind of crumbled under that crumbling team of Jim Mora. Brett Hundley was awesome the entire time he was at UCLA, but it's not like UCLA is. It's not like it's not a quarterback-friendly place when things are going right, and absolutely Nico can fall into that mold.
Yeah.
And this guy is a huge dude with a huge arm, with very athletic, and it's going to be, as long as he's locked in, I think it's going to be hard to fail dramatically with him at the helm. I'm hoping, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's going to be awesome. And just the level of experience that the dude already has is just an amazing thing to bring into your program, presumably to be one of your team leaders. A lot of people are taking the negative side about what his family is like and what he's tried to do, but he still played at a very high level all the way last season. And, you didn't hear anything, like you said, the basketball was talking about, that doesn't seem like a bad kid. It's just a bad circumstance.
Yeah.
And that's a circumstance created by
that's not great, no.
what the NIL is. So that's got to be at least a little part of it.
Look at what Dion's doing with his son,
It's
retiring his shirt and being picky about where he wants his son to go play. It's like, dude, you're not giving this opportunity all the time. And Shador, as great as he is, didn't really prove himself as an elite quarterback. He was good. They got better in year 2. Travis Hunter was clearly the top dog in that class, and I understand why he would. He won the Heisman. He should absolutely get his number retired. But looking at the optics, like that's just kind of weak. And when you have that fueling the thoughts of the kids, then that's what they're gonna think. And we talked about this last week too. He kind of has to earn whatever NIL he's going to get next year. I know you don't want to talk about next year, but
it's absolutely the case
for them. Yeah, exactly. If he, not just if UCLA sucks next year, but if he sucks and he just doesn't get this offense, which I don't understand how I don't. It seems like he's falling into a perfect fit.
We hope.
Yeah, we hope.
Sincerely, still hasn't actually done it.
Yeah, exactly.
We hope.
But if you show up and if you, like I said last week, and I got made fun of by a lot of Tennessee fans coming out of the woodwork saying that UCLA could they could probably be on track for 8 or 9 wins next season because, and it's not just because Iamaleava, it's because of the new offense. It's because of the talent they have receiving. It's that whole thing. Just bringing in one player isn't going to be going to make them into superstars, but yeah.
Well, and you talk about what about 2 years from now? And the thing is like that will take care of itself. If UCLA has a big year,
the Iamaleavas might be a Washington.
He's the star. Then they'll be able to afford to pay him more money.
That's the thing, too. Yeah, especially since
and if he doesn't, if he's not very good, then it's not going to matter anyway, right? So that's why that part of it, I'm not worried about that in the least. You
bring wins, that's going to bring more money in to the NIL, and as Deshaun Foster said today, they were able to get a package really quickly. For Nico, because of Bruins for Life, the NIL collective for football. And yeah, you get more wins, you get an exciting team, that's just going to be more money. So yeah, to your point, if he performs, they're going to get the money and they're going to be able to pay him, hey, come back for a second year. Let's see what we can do. Let's run it back.
So did we get confirmation or not, other than UCLA's press release where he's there when they generated image of him wearing a blue and gold number 8 jersey?
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about that, or do we know for sure that's what he's going to be doing?
Two things.
Troy Aikman come out
two things.
Let's go, or what?
Yesterday on PMS, Wayne Cook said that he saw, I don't know if it was live or if he saw a picture of Troy Aikman shaking Nico's hand. And Petros Money asked if Troy Aikman would have a problem with it, and Wayne Cook said, If it comes down to it, he probably wouldn't have a problem. But
Well, and he can't really say he has a problem because he's gonna, because they doesn't want to look like a dick. But
exactly,
anyways,
exactly. But today, Deshaun Foster said that Nico hasn't had a chance to do any actual photo shoots, so they just kind of used the number that he's been in, and just did their whole, a Photoshop of his new jersey. But yeah, he doesn't have any other number, and he hasn't apparently been asked, what number do you want? So that's,
he's worn 9 before as well.
That ruffled some feathers amongst UCLA fans. Jim, we're talking about you. But, I don't see why that would be an issue for Nico or Troy if it came down to it. Yeah, they're tired. Just go the number 9 round again.
It would be great if he doesn't wear number 8. I'll just tell you that right now.
That would be good.
Make me happy to not see him in number 8.
Okay, can I say something that I've never said before?
Why don't we just put him in fucking 42 then? Because what are we doing here, right?
I was annoyed when Kevin Love wore 42.
But that was before
he asked. So, there are reason numbers are retired.
But I agree. I completely agree.
There are reasons why numbers are retired.
I agree.
Stay that way.
We're old men.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get off my lawn.
But is it a deal breaker for me? No, absolutely not.
No.
I'm still gonna be very thrilled if the dude performs well next year. But I will be happy if he goes in the season not number 8.
Yeah, exactly. I would too. But when it comes down to it, the number on your jersey isn't going to determine whether you're going to have a good arm throwing day or whatnot, if your feet are going to work or whatnot. But yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. It'd be great. He didn't wear 8.
See, put it on a poster. So, Mike. Hey, Mike. So, do you have any thoughts on the argument that the Bruins are kind of selling their soul here for this kid who's coming, back west, and the family and all the entrappings and all that stuff? Those arguments. What do you feel about that?
Don't care. Do you know how long USC and Alabama and Ohio State and Michigan have been selling their souls under the table? Don't care. I care because if the Ball family aspect seeps in with the Iamaleavas, that will be problematic, and that's going to just disjoint the team. Although, as I joked earlier, by in a year we could be seeing all Iamaleavas at like Michigan or Washington.
Who knows?
Or exactly SMU or whatnot. But no, you gotta try for this. Even if it's like, dude, you meet a smoking hot chick at a bar, and it's not going to go anywhere. Maybe you'd like to get married, but hey, at least having a chance to go out with her, wouldn't you?
Oh, there's no doubt.
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if she's wearing a Kings jersey. Go Kings, go.
It's funny. No, I completely agree with you, Mike, in that I'm okay with taking the risk on that side of it. But I still am thinking that this isn't really a sell your soul situation, in that to sell your soul, if the Bruins are emptying the Brinks truck, meeting the demands of what this guy was asking for as he's leaving Tennessee on the way out. This is a bounce back situation. This is giving him an
I was thinking the
opportunity
same thing,
to, like Basketball said, to rehabilitate himself. It's not that situation. So to me, like I said, there's nothing in here that shows me that if this guy is a real athlete that has NFL aspirations and wants to have a career in football, this is a chance for him to come in and be humble and do good things at UCLA, as opposed to being a big distraction. And if he isn't a big distraction, then the Bruins are probably going to be better than they would have been if he wasn't here. And so that's to me, as I said, a no-brainer win situation. It does create, now that we're kind of finishing up the conversation, there are wacky plot lines. The whole Tennessee trade situation is crazy.
That's pretty funny.
The fact that we get
the first NIL trade.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And like we said before, those two are going to be linked all season long.
Yeah.
The getting the brother on the bounce back too after sprinting us on sign day, that's a wacky thing too. The other thing is, for the second, and this time it's to the Bruins' benefit, but for the second off season in a row, the Bruins are way late in doing stuff. Last year, they were way late in firing Chip Kelly, and then that made them way late in hiring a coach, and then that made everything else delayed, and it just kind of like, it was certainly a struggle for the program in all senses when they hired Deshaun Foster the way that they did. And now this season, though, a way late quarterback change. So it's kind of like it's just weird how that kind of plays out. Because this is certainly an unusual situation, but it's a situation created by the way they have the transfer portal window set up and the way they have the NIL set up and just what's happening in college football right now. It's bonkers, crazy. It's a circus. And with that being said, think about how college football is structured right now. And we'll just finish this conversation with this point, and that is there has never been a more a time as a college football sports fan to just be a fan of your team and not even look at what the players are named at this point.
Yeah.
Like if UCLA just had to take the names off the back of the jerseys, I'd be like, let's go. That's probably a good thing because who knows if they're going to be there next year anyway. We're rooting for them this year. And as a fan, you should just be all about rooting for the best thing for UCLA football. And as far as the storylines and Michael Hanna falling in love with Josh Rosen and things like that, like we're still going to have players that we like, but don't get attached to them because as long as this is the way that this sport is operating, you're just setting yourself up for heartbreak if you do that. So just root for the best circumstances for UCLA football. And as far as these players go, let's enjoy their nice stories and enjoy their nice, contributions to football while it's here. And if they happen to leave, then good luck to you. Have a nice day. And, give us a Go Bruins.
Go Bruins.
On the way out. Dante Moore, who I'm absolutely not rooting against this year. I don't know. I don't want to say anymore. Good. But anyways, it's a weird time to be a college football fan or a sports fan in general, just because of the way it is. But here, it's not definitively right or wrong. No one's upset that the players are finally coming around to starting getting a piece of the pie. It's just the powers that be screwed it up for so long. It's just like everything else in our goddamn society right now. It's a giant overcorrection. So hopefully at some point it swings back towards something reasonable. But right now, no one's to blame with all this because they're just trying to get it while the getting's good, in my opinion. And that kind of brings me away from the fact that this is just a ball family situation and more so a product of the times that we're in.
Yeah. But it's finally something that UCLA has needed to do because other schools are doing it. So they've gotten good. They were able to bring back Jay Toya with NIL last year.
Mike, that's a great point.
And now they literally landed a fish by throwing out a bigger lure.
UCLA has no money. That's all I hear. I hear all that.
Yeah.
Even goddamn Bill. Like Bill, the first thing he does, you can't do nothing because you suck.
Well, Bill does love Oregon.
I love Oregon. Yeah, he wants to beat us in the title game or whatever. Yeah. It's so frustrating because we're also self-defeated about this nonsense.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I would be happy if UCLA were prudent with its money, right? They're not ever going to have the war chest of Ohio State or Alabama. It's like, I don't think there's no possibility of that ever happening.
Yet.
Even if they could roll off national titles in a row, and it's not probably going to happen. But they're not broke either. And when they need it, they've come up with it. And they came up with the money when they took their giant swing at Chip Kelly and gave him everything he asked for. And then that son of a bitch out the door said, I didn't get the sporting. F you, Chip. Right? You got all the support you fucking needed while you're here, and you underachieved the entire time you were here.
Yeah.
When they needed money to get Jay Toya back from the portal,
they got it.
And that was huge last year.
I don't even think he was gone for a week.
When they needed money to go get Nico Iamaleava, they got it. Right?
Yeah.
Did they get $4 million? No, because they didn't need it. Because they're using it prudently. They're getting a depreciated player that had their reputation lowered, and like I said, is on the bounce back.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So don't feel like UCLA doesn't have any money to spend at all. It's a giant, horrible bureaucracy most of the time, but hopefully this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And they're operating more efficiently. They've taken some swings in the last decade that are positive signs.
Yeah.
When it doesn't turn
Dante
out.
Moore.
Well, that's a swing that we probably shouldn't have taken. But by the way, that's another example.
Yeah.
They got Dante Moore out of the at the last
from
minute.
Oregon. Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have done that one. Let's hope we don't have the same opinion about Nico. But it's like, both things can't be true. They can't be absolutely super cheap with no money at all and then still manage to hire Chip Kelly, get Dante Moore, pay Jay Toya, and then get Nico Iamaleava out of the transfer portal.
Yeah.
The number one transfer in the country in that regard.
Mm.
Okay, so it's not Ohio State, it's not Alabama, but it's not nothing. And when they need it, it looks like they're willing to spend it.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do something. So I'm okay with that, right? You know, they're still trying to claw their way out of the hole, the rotund Chip Kelly size hole they dug in the ground on his way out. And we'll see how it, you know,
the dinosaur killing asteroid, the program killing asteroid.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Anyways. So, okay. I think are we done with old Nico?
Yeah.
So let's hope that we're, you know, this year we're going more this.
ee-ah-MAH-LAY-ah-va.
And less this.
ee-ah-MAH-LAY-ah-va.
Time will tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Time will tell.
One last final, not a headline, but Jake, our hopes have been dashed for Harden My Heart.
Oh, that's a bummer. I just took it off the board.
He was supposed to go to Cal.
Yeah. No one's going to Cal. Everybody's leaving Cal.
Right? Yeah. He's headed to SMU, so good for him.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Damn.
Yeah.
I would have loved for him to decide so late. I was really hoping that he would come back and maybe consider there's going to be a different situation.
That would have been nice,
dude. I honestly think he could have probably thrived, but we're having
I would have loved
burgers all around next year.
This is a tasty burger.
Let's hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with that being said, let's shut that part down. The Nico news. Do you have any thoughts about practice you've been doing last week?
No, I would say Friday Night Lights was pretty freaking fun. It was a lot to cover. My God, it took forever to do my freaking article. It was a 2 hours long, and I tried to get as
Drake,
much
right?
as possible. Yeah, it was at Drake. We had both field access and press box access. So when they were doing their drills, I was up front doing videos, checking that out. They had we were able to check out Pride Alley, a modified Pride Alley, where they basically have the running back and two blockers in front of them, facing a DL linebacker and a defensive back.
Commentary drill.
And
fun stuff.
Is that what it? I wasn't sure. I was trying to look it up what the Pride Alley was, or what is it called? The Oklahoma. Yeah. So yeah, that got not only the team but recruits hooting and hollering, going around that, and so that was pretty fun. But basically, it was just good to see kind of like a festival atmosphere. Had Matt Barnes doing his podcast before the event. You had that guy. I met that guy Creeper Cholo Fit. Funny as hell, dude. He was hilarious. Like emceeing the whole thing, not the whole time through. But like every 15 minutes, he'd get on the big board. He's like, this is Matt Barnes. Hey, I got Eric Kendricks here. And it's just so stupid and awesome, and just a different direction that UCLA needed.
How well versed was he with the UCLA lore? Did he do a good job? Did it look like he had to study?
Yeah.
Is he a fan?
No, he knew. When
is he an alum? Like, does he have any connection with the school at all?
That was funny. One of the videos he put out beforehand, he was like, "Hey, here is Creeper Cholo Fede. I'm here at UCLA. I didn't get in, but we're not talking about that right now."
Very good. I mean,
funny ass dude.
I think with some personality, it's nice.
Yeah, very much so. And I met him. I was just like, dude, I've been looking at your stuff on social media the last 2 years. Like, oh man, thank you very much. Like, clearly it's an act. So we were just like talking after. He was telling me he's from the Valley, moved to Oxnard, came back here, and he's trying to be a comedian. He actually has been doing a lot of. He's actually in like Denver or something. He did the Icebox in Pasadena a few months ago. Yeah, so cool. No, he's like getting up there. I'm like, dude, good for this guy. He's doing an original bit.
Absolutely.
But and yeah, there was an actual concert, a rap concert on the track while practice was going on. Now, I will say this. They probably need to vet these rappers more, because there were a lot of questionable lyrics. And I'm like, dude, there's a child right there.
Yeah.
And there.
That's pretty good.
But I was like, and there were a couple times you could tell that he kind of censored himself, but should have probably,
That's hilarious.
If you're going to say the F word, just say the F word.
Yeah.
Don't say the other words that are questionable.
Well, sometimes the actual curse words aren't as big of a problem with the content. I mean, you walk around society today and people have F on their shirts all the time. It's fuck this, fuck that.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
That's part. But like the actual content of sometimes the lyrics, like what they're actually talking about, when you get rap songs, that can go kind of sideways as well.
Yeah, dude, I like 12 years ago, I saw Faith No More at Coachella and bought this T-shirt, which was awesome, and it was in big letters. One of their lyrics to one of their more famous songs, "The Gentle Art of Making Enemies," is "Happy Birthday, Fucker," and that's just in big old yellow right here. I never really wore that out because I was like, I'm not gonna wear it.
It's a bit much.
It's a bit much, but even so. Anyway, back to Friday Night Lights. I think it was pretty successful. It was basically like a second. Even though there wasn't a game, element. There were live periods, which were pretty amazing. Like that, and as I said earlier, the offense really looked like it took a step up in 2 weeks. But
Who was the quarterback?
There you go, Joey Aguilar, Joey Aguilar, and
Sounds rumpy pumpy.
Luke.
So we don't know
Luke
shit.
Duncan. So exactly,
We don't know shit.
Comb the desert. It was fun. And I don't know what the hell's going to happen in 2 weeks, because obviously if Joey Aguilar was going to be there, I'm sure we would have seen a pretty fun offense. Now I think that's probably put on delay because I don't think Nico can join the team until he
Iamaleava.
I
enrolls
heard
in
he's got.
school.
I think he's got a couple weeks left for the Tennessee too.
That too, yeah, exactly. So summer, definitely. I believe that's what Deshaun Foster said. So he'll be here in the summer. We'll
The good thing
finally
is he's not a brand new dude, not played at all, Dante Moore style. He's got an
Exactly.
entire season of college football
Yeah.
and an
Yeah.
entire season of watching college football.
Yeah.
So it's like that part
Exactly.
should be okay.
Yeah.
You would think.
So it was pretty good. But I did
And
Mhm.
the biggest thing, like the most awesome thing about this is Eric Bieniemy is not his coach.
we have Tino Morrissey Sanseri taking over, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to ask him who's his.
Bieniemy's on a boat somewhere in the lake.
And I want to ask Sanseri who's your stylist.
I know you're in love, Mike.
His hair is high.
Mike's
and
got
slick.
a Caleb Benenoch-sized crush on Tony Cesare.
I have a Caleb Benenoch sized crush on his hair.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice. That's good.
He's a good dude too, but his hair,
It seems good.
nice.
Wonderful. Okay, so good. That's all good. So
Yeah.
once again, we came into this spring more so than any spring I can remember. We've been doing this
You were
since
right, Jake.
2013.
We
Like,
have no idea what's
we
going to
don't
happen.
know shit about nothing, and we ain't gonna know shit about nothing coming out. It's just about looking at the teams
Damn it, Jake. I
and
hate
looking generally at, do they look athletic relative to other years? That's a big thing. So Mike,
you. Mhm.
do they look athletic relative to other years?
Oh yeah.
So
They
that's
don't,
good.
don't look
Hey.
horrible. They don't look horrible. So
Oh no. Yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. Yeah. They look athletic. Yay. And then other than that, like there's so many new faces in and out. Like we're not gonna know nothing until we get to the fall. So it's okay, guys. Just relax. Relax. Guess what? We got a new quarterback. You know what his name is?
Iamaleava.
He's 5-star. He played in a playoff game.
Yeah.
What's the last Bruin quarterback to play for UCLA that played in a playoff game? There ain't been none.
no, I had no idea.
Haven't been around that long. I'm just saying. Like this is cool. Hibbing down almost did, and then we got ran over by Edge James.
Yeah.
Really shame.
Son of a. Anyway.
Fuck. I'm going to Miami in
Why?
June.
You
don't
going
go
on
to
a
Miami?
cruise?
I'm going on a cruise.
I
I'm
do
going to
want
Miami for a few
I do
days.
want to go on.
I'm going to be in Miami a few days. And I'm going to be on a cruise for a few days. I'm going to be in Orlando for a few days. And you know what? The whole time in Miami,
in June.
I might get a fuck Edgerrin James shirt to wear in Miami. I don't know. I don't think I'm that type of guy.
Wait, you're going.
But I'm going to be thinking it.
You're going to Miami in June.
Yeah.
Isn't that hurricane season or start of it?
Oh, that's like September. Come on.
All right,
When was the? Come on. It's no, we're fine. We're gonna be good.
dude. We had fires in
I'm gonna be in the
January.
Bahamas. I know. Whatever. Then you can't go anywhere anytime. I'm not sweating it. All right, Mike. This is good. So no more of this
I lost my mojo.
and a whole lot more of this.
Take that, UCLA football cynics.
Come on. It's all looking up now for us. And Nico Iamaleava.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. He's absolutely
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
absolutely no worries at all.
Yeah. You roll those dice, Bruins.
All right. So with that being said,
What's brewing with you? You ask me. What's brewing with me? Yeah. What's brewing with you? What's brewing with me? What's brewing with you?
Mike, we talked about this before the show, and I'm very grateful to you. Like, we're actually I'm going to get the show published before the Laker game is like a quarter old.
Nice.
And I'm going to be able to start it like from the beginning and watch it. And this
Yeah,
weekend.
can we start early?
Hopefully
I'm like,
they win.
dude, we are so efficient without Bill. I was like, dude, we are going to end way before the Lakers start.
F that guy. But anyways, we love you, Bill. All right. Anyways, Mike, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me. Well, I now have 2 teenagers. My
Yes.
pop star is now 13 years
Let's
old.
go, Poppy.
Yeah, on Saturday, I got her into escape rooms. And what does she want to do again this year? She wanted to have a party, but then she was like, I just want to have a few friends and family and do an escape room.
Oh, that's fun.
We went to the Glendale Galleria, did a pretty freaking fun one.
What was the theme?
Our college professor was sucked back in time because he made a time travel. Yeah, and there were just all these kind of like pictures to time travel movies, and like just you had to figure out puzzles and stuff like that.
Did you guys get it solved?
With 9 seconds left. I was like, no, we're done. We're dead. And then all of a sudden something happened. Click, door open. I'm like, what the hell? This is awesome. And there were like 7 or 8 of us, so there were plenty of people to try to figure out different puzzles.
Yeah.
But it's just funny watching the little ones just go about, oh, but we had this. Where do we put this? Where do we put this? I'm like, all right, yeah. That was pretty cool. And then
speaking of Bill, I want to put him in an escape room and then just like everybody leave. Tell the guy
lock him in.
That'd be great.
You can't come out, sucker.
That's like his worst nightmare. I can't imagine Bill in a more untenable situation for him than that. Anyways, sorry.
She her and her brother and sister know about this restaurant called Joy. It was a Taiwanese place in what is it? Eagle Rock-ish area, Highland Park, on York Boulevard. Really good. It's like, noodle based. It's very similar to ramen, but definitely had a distinctive, spicy flavor. Well, I threw in like all the spices. And then, just her and her friends wanted to hang out for the rest of the day, so we dropped them off. And then, I went to the beach for the first time this season, and just got to get back and got to get my beach bod back. So that's basically what's been going on with me, and just trying to figure out. I rested the hell up too because I had spring break last week, and I needed some of that rest. But now I'm regretting sleeping in because that's all I want to do now, and I can't. But anyway, whatever. Don't care. Hate my life. Anyway, Jake, what's wrong with you?
Thanks, Mike. So number one, you mentioned you mentioned restaurants, right? And I totally forgot about this last week or a couple weeks ago. We went to a concert and saw Franz Ferdinand at the Wiltern. Yeah, had a good time. Me, Megan, and Sarah. But we ate across the street at a restaurant that Sarah and I have now eaten at twice, and we love it. And it's an Asian fusion restaurant called Enchant LA. Wonderful bar menu. Lots of fun little Asian like riffs on things, but also just like really good food and
where
really
was this?
Fun creative drinks. So it's right there across the street from the Wiltern. So like I'm trying to pull.
There's a lot of cool stuff up there.
Oh yeah. But they have just weird stuff like a banana nut latte if you want some coffee, and the cocktails were like excellent. Like look at that cocktail. That's like they have like a lavender one that I had that was wonderful, and the food was like unbelievably good. Just like some sort of like Korean pork quesadilla sort of mashup thing. It's just all good. Lots of fun colored drinks. These blue drinks right there. So if you are ever going to a concert at the Wiltern, I already made your dinner plans for you. Go to Enchant LA.
Nice.
You can't go wrong.
Have you ever been to Frank and Hank's bar in K-Town up the street?
I want to though.
Oh, dude, let's go. Because also in back of it is this Korean restaurant called Gangnam. I think it's just called Gangnam.
Yeah.
And they have like just traditional, Korean food. One of the things I think, what was it? Cheesy, right? Something. It was just like,
if it starts with cheesy, I'm in.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
The best thing about it is it's just like decked out Korean. Everything is just fantastic, and like Korean hipsters were all there with their baggy pants and their awesome hairs and colors. But I swear to God, the bathroom, which is downstairs, I went down. The one time, this was about a year ago. One time I went down there, I opened the door and 2 guys were like kind of slowly rubbing hands against each other. I was like, that was a drug deal.
Nice.
And as soon as I come to the bathroom, they come. They
so it's immediately either a drug deal or a strokes video.
No, you could. It was not. I could tell. And I come out and they're just gone. And then I was like, I hear music coming down from a hallway, and I look, and this is apparently below Frank and Hank's. So I look in there and I'm like, it's empty right now, but it was like 10 p.m. I'm like, this is a strip club, isn't it? So I was like, there are shady things going down in Koreatown. Sorry, I'm not being racist. I'm just being observing.
Not all of K-Town.
And not all of K-Town, just this one
is
awesome
it downtown?
place.
Is it downtown LA is encompassed by what downtown LA is? Yes. So what do you think?
Do you know how much weird crap is going down in LA at every moment?
Come on, give me a break. You ever been to the city?
But it's awesome.
It's
If you're ever
And we love it.
in K-Town, let me know. We'll hit up Frank and Hanks.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a cool spot.
My last part of my What's Bruin is...
Sorry, it was your What's Bruin.
It's okay. It's okay. It's good information for the people. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Mike, have I talked about ChatGPT yet?
No, but tell me, because I'm getting on that. You talked about it a little last week.
I did. And I'm only more so convinced now, so much that I'm probably going to sign up for the service at some point, because last night I was ChatGPTing and I ran out of data on it. I'm like, what? This could happen? But
oh, really?
I swear
Damn,
to
how much
God,
do you use it?
dude, I was
A lot.
all sorts of things. Amazing. And it's like, it helped me figure out my tax situation. Then it helped me figure out my car situation. Then it helped me figure out my vacation meal plan situation.
Damn, nice.
And then today it was helping me figure out my poetry situation. Exactly. Like, it's crazy. And by the way, I'm not using it at all in any sort of it's creating something for me sort of manner. It's more of like bouncing ideas and compiling information stuff. It's so cool. And I see so much use for this heading into the football season. All the things that usually take me a long time to do, and then I usually get them half done because I can't get the research done because I don't know where to find it from.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that's where this is going to be a huge swing. But I'm really come around now just in the last couple of weeks of using this damn database thingy, AI thingy, that I'm going to pay for the service, I think.
Yeah.
And you know what the first question I'm going to ask once I pay for the service is? It's kind of like when you get the thing where, if you find the genie's lamp and you rub the genie's lamp, the first thing you should ask for is 1,000 more wishes.
Yeah.
The first thing I'm going to punch in there is ChatGPT. I just paid $20 a month for this service. How can you make me $20 a month to pay for the service? I'm going to see what it says.
Nice.
Like, come on, right? That's got to be a genius
Nice.
idea. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if it comes through me.
So,
anyways, I'm very impressed.
Jake, we get to start writing music.
I think we do.
Like, properly.
I have a bunch of things that are never going to be shared with the world until I'm dead, but I've been prolific in the last couple months.
I threw some stuff out there. I didn't want to publicly
and I dug
send
it,
it
Mike.
out there. Yeah, Jake gave me some like insane, deep critiques. I was like, damn, yo. So yeah, let's
We're
do
trying
that.
your credit. Yeah, I think we should. Anyways,
do it.
I'm just saying ChatGPT is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it was that cool, but now I do.
Yeah, I'm slowly
And,
learning.
like if you just are trying to figure out how to do anything, ask that thing.
Yeah.
Instead of your stupid Google search, and it's pretty fun.
Sarah and John Connor are looking at us with disdain.
Oh, I'm scared of the revolution, but that's the other thing. Like we'll get rid of this. But you know what? I am polite to a T to this thing. I'm definitely making friends. Like it gives me a rid of it. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's very helpful. Can you help me with this now, please? Because I'm making friends with the robots.
Nice.
I'm gonna be on the good list. I'm not gonna be on the naughty list. Okay.
Nice.
It's kind of I carry my general demeanor of good public service right into the robots.
Yeah, exactly.
I do that with people. I do it with robots. Yeah. No one's. Everybody deserves to be treated nice, even if you're a computer-generated intelligence. That's right, Mike.
What's up?
That was fun. Let's watch the Lakers, guys. We'll talk to you again next week. We'll see what happens. If there's any more new developments, I can't imagine anything developing any more than it did this week. That was crazy. But we'll see where we're at, and then we'll head into the summer. Looking forward to hopefully a much improved football team, but it remains to be seen. Mike, until next time, what do we say?
Go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Oh my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's gotta be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, brah, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.